So hi guys, welcome back. Hi folks, hope you are going good during this COVID-19 time. So today I am back with another series of Let's Talk. Today we are going to talk briefly about ISO 45000, which is the Occupational Health and Safety Management System, and something about ISO 14001 which is Environmental Management System. The reason I am clubbing them together because most of them are being referred as health, safety and environment systems. So these two standards go hand in hand, although they are sometimes different in nature itself, because environmental hazards are different than the occupational health hazards and they are different than the occupational safety hazards, but they go hand in hand because most of the standards which are made by ISO has a series of common clauses and different clauses. So if you can club the common clauses, it reduces the effort. So 45001 is the recent standard issued by ISO, because previously it was OSA's 18001, which was used for occupational health and safety as a occupational health and safety standard, and 14001 is a dedicated standard for environmental management system, although they have a series of other standards also, 1, 2, 3, 4, which are catering different needs with respect to the specific process of the environmental management system. The reasons most of the people implement occupational health safety and occupational health and safety and environmental standards is due to the regulation impacts, because the regulation and the legal requirements require people to abide by the safety rules and abide by the environmental rules, because the simple reason being because people are involved, the humans are involved, and if we don't take care of their occupational health, and if we don't take care that they are performing their task in a safer manner, they can be their health or they can be by themselves impacted by injuries, and sometimes the injury may be lethal also, in which one human person can get disabled or can even die. So this kind of things actually make it more important for organizations to start implementing ISO 45001 and the 14001. So let's start something about if somebody wants to implement ISO 45001 or somebody wants to be a consultant of 45001, what he can do. So basically, if you want to be a consultant of 45001, my advice would be to understand the safety from your own point of view. Start thinking about yourself, that if you are sitting or given a tool, or if we are given a sort of not comfortable way of working environment, how would you feel? Because if you are not given a good working environment which is safe, so definitely you will be always under the threat, and then you will not be willing to work in that environment. So think from that angle. What are the safety hazards? What are the occupational hazards? So when we talk about occupational health hazards, so what we really mean is that if a person is coming to my organization, or if a person is walking into an organization even as a visitor also, so he should go back from that organization in the same health level without getting any exposure of or any bad impact on his health, on his safety, or on his environment itself. So that's what we really mean by occupational health and safety. So 45001 has given guidelines about how we can make sure the safety over our internal people, and the people who are just visitors, they have some work, or contractors, or maybe a business associate who just walk into my premises. So if he walks into my premises with a certain health, so he should be going away from my premises in the same level of health without getting any adverse effect from my environment itself. So by really this means is that if you are having too much chill or too much air conditioning, and the people are actually not sitting in the right posture, so at the longer run they are going to get backaches and they are going to get posture problems, so which can actually impact their livings as such. So that is actually very much critical in the sense. So this is all about 45001. And the same thing, if I have to climb a ladder, or if I have to work on heights, and if I am not taking safety precautions, I am not putting a helmet, and I am not taking care of the safety procedures which have been defined. So I can hurt myself, I can make myself injured, or I can even make myself disabled also. So I have to be very careful as an organization. Now, as per the legal regulations, this is the responsibility of the organization. But at the end of the day, if you want to be consultants, start thinking about the safety hazards and then think what can be dangerous while working in a specific environment. Do a risk assessment of that hazard and see how we can reduce that hazard. So that is a golden rule for the consultant. For the organization, it is always their beneficial that if they don't have any lost time accidents, they don't have any medical emergency, they are able to reduce the cost. So that is a cost benefit for them. A little bit about 14,001. With 14,001, what we really mean is that if you are making something and the fumes are coming out of your factory or an industry or an organization, definitely it's going to harm the people living in the neighborhood. So that is called the negative impact on the environment is such. And if we have a company, a rent-a-car company, or if we have vehicles and the vehicles are emitting poisonous gases, they are not properly maintained, they can also have a negative impact on the organization, but also the negative impact on the organization, because the name of the organization will be always stamped on the vehicles itself. So these are some of the aspects which actually force the organization to adopt these standards and subscribe to these standards. So we are going to have a full-time video of how you can start implementing from clause 4 till clause 10 of that standards, and what are the key elements which you should be taking care while implementing these standards. So kindly keep yourself posted with this kind of videos which are going to come in future. So like the last note itself, there is a comment which somebody has asked in the video during this webinar, is if I am working for an aviation industry, so what is the consideration for me with respect to 45,001 and 14,001? We need to understand the aviation industry is a very diversified and a very humongous sort of business processes. It's a culminations of lots and lots of business processes. They have airport operations, they have ground operations, they have millions of people traveling in the airports. They have other sort of considerations because the aircraft has to take off, has to come back, there is fuel itself. So there are lots and lots of safety considerations. So it's a very big field. So we have to take it chunk by chunk. Okay, even if we want to make it a holistic approach, the strategy can be on the holistic approach, but we have to cascade down with respect to the environment and occupational health and safety requirement at each process chunk of that aviation industry. For airport ground operation, it will be different. For airline and aircraft itself, it will be different because it's a multi-billion-dollar asset. So these safety considerations are different. So kindly be posted. So we are going to have, based on your request, we are going to have a complete video of how you can implement these two standards in the aviation industry. Hope to see you soon. Bye for now.